Alpha Bravo 9, November Alpha. This is Jim down here around Mount Tabor and Green Valley, pretty much your neighbor. And I'm sure you're hearing me fine. I'll unkey and make sure. I'm just running the radio.
Oh, yeah. I got a room full of you, Roger.
Okay, very good. We've talked several times. The last time we talked, though, I listened to it on YouTube and everything, and I had a different microphone. I'm still running the Kenwood TS-590 Sugar Golf. And the last time when you checked my audio and recorded me, I was running a Heil Gold Line microphone. Since then, I've made a change. I'm giving you plenty of chatter so you can check it out, and then I'll get out of your way. But currently, I'm running a Heil HM12 Genesis microphone. It's a cheap microphone. It's only about $69, $70. And I'm running a pop filter. I know you know what that is. I'm running a pop filter right in front of the microphone, talking through it. And this Genesis microphone from Heil has a built-in windscreen on the inside of the screen. So kind of neat. And I think I got it pretty much set up. Everybody kind of likes it, but I thought, well, I listen to you very frequently and really enjoy listening to your conversations with people, and I've heard you straighten out so many people. Hats off to you. And you might have to straighten me out. Who knows? Wouldn't be the first time. But, you know, you really help a lot of people, and a lot of people I hear on HF, they're just real flat sounding, and there just ain't no sparkle, and I really enjoy listening to you get people's signal nice and full, but yet you get the articulation in there too, which a whole lot of them don't realize, but they're missing the articulation, and I hope I'm not one of them. So I know I've gave you plenty of chatter now to analyze me, so I'll pass it back to you, Jim. This is Alpha Bravo 9, November Alpha, Jim down here on the other, well, not even the other side of town. I bet we're only a couple miles apart, but back to you, Jim, for an analysis real quick of mine.
Roger, Roger. Well, I would start with the compressor. I think you may have the compressor up just a little bit too much because I'm hearing quite a bit of breath noise. So what we recommend on the compressor is engaged at about a 3. I think you might be 5, 6, somewhere up there. So what we're looking for is the compressor at about a 3, Roger.
Okay, I made an adjustment there, and that should be a little bit less. I don't know. It might still be too much. I don't know. And anyway, I did make an adjustment and brought it down a little bit. So I was just wondering if it helped any.
Yeah, okay. Now go to your ALC and with mic gain in hand and adjust your ALC to where it reads mid-scale to 2/3. As you speak normally, naturally, with mic gain in hand, adjust your ALC to where it runs the mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, I have to do that on the fly here. Let me see, right? Okay, we'll try it right there. That should have cut my ALC down, which it did. That dropped my ALC down about a quarter of a meter. It was peaking at the high end of it, so see if that brought it down to where it sounds more to your liking. Go ahead.
Oh yes, yes, much more natural now. Before it was kind of up against the wall, you know. Right now it's very natural, and you still have a very fat audio signal, Roger.
Okay, very good. Actually, I'm not running no processing, but it takes a lot of gain to drive this Heil mic, and the Heils are like that. So what I did was went from 70% to 60% on the mic gain. First I went from 70 to 65, and then my ALC was a little hot. It is staying in the range better now. And then I went from 65 to 60 on the mic gain. So I've went down in the total of the two adjustments, 10% down on the mic gain, and that probably should sound pretty good like that, I think.
Roger. Now, the actual mic setting is unimportant. The thing that's important is the mic gain level as relates to the ALC. The ALC wants to see the mic gain at mid to where the ALC meter reads mid-scale to 2/3. So wherever you have to turn the mic gain to make that ALC read mid-scale to 2/3, that's what it is. Now, I do suggest, if you have your compressor there and you can engage it, turn it on, and adjust it to about a 3, we do recommend that for, the fattest signal, Roger.
Okay, well, I've always had problems. Every time I turn on the processor, it just sounds like a megaphone, and just that where they ain't even hardly moving. So I understand what you're saying, but I don't like to run processing. I never could make it sound good on this radio, so I think I might just leave it where it is. We have turned the ALC down now to where it's a half to about 2/3 of a meter on that, so I think I might just leave it where it's at. It probably does sound a whole lot better than it did when we started. I've never been able to get the processor to sound good on this rig. I don't know why. It might be something to do with the microphone. I'll turn it down where it's hardly moving, the compression level, and it just sounds like I'm on a megaphone and picks up everything in the background. So I don't know. It might just be the nature of the combination of what I got.
Roger. Well, if you would trust me, we could play an experiment. We could make an experiment if you would like. The trick about the compressor is to only engage it at a 3. Now, if you know where your compressor is and you can turn it on and adjust it, and now if it we're looking for a 3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, or the 10 o'clock position as far as a rotary switch, using the clock definition. But we only want to run it at about a 1/3 of its capabilities. And I'll tell you if it sounds like bad. I'll tell you exactly what it sounds like.
Oh, I know you will. Okay, I engaged the processor, and now this radio has soft, hard processor, and hard. I'm on soft right now with previous settings that sounded about as good as I could get it, listening to the monitor. Of course, monitors are monitors. So anyway, it is engaged, and let me see, I got it. Okay, there's my compression. It's going up to, well, a lot of times it's a digital meter, and it's flicking from 1 or 2 bars up to about 5 bars. I would say it's averaging about 3 to 5% in there, 3 to 5 dB, something like that on the meter.
Roger. Okay, now take your mic gain and take your mic gain down about 5 clicks. What is your mic gain right now?
Well, this radio has a separate mic gain for the processor and a separate one for the other one, but I can take it down. Hold on.
Yes, on the control for your compressor, you want to take it about 10 clicks. What is it now? Let's find out what it is now.
Well, this radio is so different. It says Pro.0, and it says 60 on it right now, but I'm not sure if that's the adjustment you're wanting or not. I can turn that down. It's got another adjustment too. It's got 2 different adjustments for the processor.
What would those be?
Well, one of them's, I'd have to get the book out. It just says Pro.0. One of them's, I can't even remember how to get to it now. Wait a minute, let me check. Well, I don't know. I can turn this down. It's on 60 now.
All right, turn it to 40.
Good, if you'd like.
Yeah, turn it to 40.
Okay, there we go. I turned it to 40. And I can tell it probably cut it back a little bit.
Okay, now go back to your ALC and readjust your ALC from mid-scale to 2/3. That's the thing. See, anytime we make an adjustment down in the lower stages, like the compressor, new microphone, or whatever it might, a lot of different EQ, we need to always go back to the ALC to make sure that we're still where we think we are or where we want to be, mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, I understand that. Let me, I thought I had it right and I didn't. Well, I still don't. Hold on. There we go. Okay, right now it's peaking about half to 2/3.
All right, do me a favor. Just key your mic a couple of times. Don't say anything. Just key it. And then back off for about 3 seconds and key it again for about 3 seconds. Roger?
Okay, I'm going to key it now.
Roger.
And now I'm going to unkey it. That was all I did key.
Okay, so after I back off key, wait about 3 seconds, then key it for 3 seconds, back off for 3, key it back for 3, and then back off. All right, I can still hear your compressor come on, so we still got too much compression. Take that compression down to a 20. Take it down to a 20, Roger.
Well, I'm not even sure we're adjusting the right adjustment, but I can do that. There's another adjustment on this radio, and I'd have to get my manual out to find it. It's got 2 adjustments, but I can definitely take that on down.
All right, take that down to 20, and then give me that same sequence that you just did. 5 seconds after, or 3 seconds after I back off, then key for 3, off for 3, back on for 3, and off.
Okay, here we go. I'm not getting any ALC at all, none. So I'll go 3 on, 3 off. Okay, there was 3 on, 3 off 3 times. I'm not getting any ALC at all on the meter now.
When you're talking, you're not getting an ALC reading?
Negative, yeah. It's not moving, no ALC at all.
Wow. Well, go back to, obviously that control is not for your compressor, because I'm hearing you just fine, so you have audio, so your ALC should be reading. So whatever that reading was that we first started adjusting, I would take it back to that reading, because that affects your ALC reading.
Okay, I found another adjustment, Jim. Try this. I'm on 60 now. I'm back to where I was originally with the processor on. I know it's too hot, but now I've got the other one. It's Pro.I. This is probably adjustment. I'm on 60 and I'm going to go down to 40.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, that was 60 to 40 right there. And now I'm just barely... I got to talk kind of loud. That's the one. I had the wrong one. Right now, it's just every now and then will light up like 1 bar of compression, and sometimes it's not showing any compression, but it may sound pretty good. I don't know. That was the adjustment I was trying to find.
Yes, sir. I think that is the input to the compressor. So take that to a 3, a 30, or a 3. That would be the one that we want to run at a 3 out of 10 or a 30 out of 100 or 10 o'clock on the input to select for that. That is the input compressor control. So adjust that to a 3 and then speak, and then go bring up your ALC, and with mic gain adjust your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, you are correct. It's a processor input. It's Pro.I. And I turned it down to 30, and every now and then it just flicks 1 bar on compression. So now I'm going to check my ALC. I have to change my meter. Let's see, ALC. Well, it still ain't the right meter. Hold on. Okay. now I've got the ALC working, and it's peaking at probably about a little bit less than half a meter on the ALC.
All right, we want to run that meter at mid-scale to 2/3, so we want to go to the other side of that mid-scale. Roger?
Okay, now I turned my mic gain down 10% in the beginning, so I may want to go back and just leave the processor where it is with very little compression, do you think, and maybe go up a little bit with the mic gain until I get the ALC where I want it?
Exactly. That's it. Leave your compressor at a 3 or a 30 or whatever it is, and then you adjust your mic level to where your ALC. Just think of it as the mic level controls how the ALC meter reads, and you want to adjust your mic level to so that the ALC meter reads mid-scale to 2/3. So bring it up, bring your mic level up, down. It doesn't matter what the level is, only as it relates to the ALC meter.
Okay, now I'm getting a lot more there, so I don't need to turn it up, that's for sure. I did that. The first adjustment we was using was the wrong one, and I set it back from 51 to 60 where it was when we started. So I don't know. I probably got it all whacked out now, but I'm getting about 2/3 to 3/4 ALC on the peaks, at least, sometimes a little more than that.
Oh, sounds beautiful. That sounds beautiful. Get the duct tape, tape it down. You got it going on. Perfect.
Okay, well, I'd appreciate that. It's really talking, I'll say that. And I'll have to listen to it here when we get done. So I've never had the processor input down on 30 before. And let me do the 3 seconds on, 3 seconds off, and see if you're hearing anything in the background. I'm going to do it right now, 3 on and 3 off a couple times. Here's on. Okay, Jim, that was 3 on and 3 off about 3 times.
Roger, I could just barely hear it in the background. I think if you take your mic level down, what is your mic level right now?
I'm sorry, I clicked the processor off accidentally. It's back on now.
All right, and what is your? I do your 3 on, 3 off. Yeah, that's perfect there. Now tell me just really quickly about your antenna system.
Yeah, it was 3 on and 3 off 3 different times there.
Roger. Now tell me about your antenna system.
Okay, well, we're running a homebrew dipole about 40 feet, and that's what I'm using now. We also have a Gap Titan DX vertical mounted in the back corner of the yard, and I've got so many contacts on that overseas and everything. It's a very good antenna. It does 40 through 10 meters just fabulously. Flat standing wave on 40, flat standing wave on 20. And then I also have a double bazooka at about 35 feet, and that is for 80 meters. It's an International Antenna Corporation double bazooka at 35 feet for 80 meters, and it works quite well. And I have an AL80B over here on the side, but I thought for trying to set the audio purposes for as close as we are, that it would probably be better to be running barefoot. Go ahead.
Roger. Now, how close are you to Mike?
I'm about three, maybe 4 inches away.
Yeah, I would suggest 4 inches, and I think it's perfect. I think at 4 inches, everything will be just perfect.
Okay, Jim, I backed off just a little bit more on the distance from it there, so that sounds a little better to you. So you think it sounds better now than when I first came on?
Yeah, I do. And what I suggest is, checking it out on audio tape, and go to YouTube. Give me a couple of days to get it uploaded, and go to YouTube and the call letter search for KC9VKV, and then that'll take you to the QSO-VLOG page, and you'll be looking for Micro Air Check 2 2820. Roger?
Okay, very good, Jim. I appreciate that. And my ALC is staying about half a meter. So I kind of like it where it is with the processor on, a half a meter. The dog's barking. I can't shut him up. So I've taken too much of your time already. I want to thank you for helping me out, though. And you know the first thing I'm going to do is grab my headphones and listen in the monitor. So 7-3, and thank you for all the help, my friend, and God bless and have a wonderful day.
Roger, Roger, Jim. 3's that way, sir. Always a pleasure. You know, and if you get a chance, check back in next Friday. Have a great weekend, 3's. This is KC9VKV, and we will be wrapping up our QSO-VLOG net for this Friday afternoon. We've enjoyed it. Hope you have. They're calling to take me away, I think. Anyway, we got to get out of here. 3's to everybody. And if you participated and you want to find out what you sounded like, go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that will take you to your QSO-VLOG page. We have about 970 QSO-VLOG air checks at the moment, but you'll be looking for one special one, which is today, and it's called My Group Air Check 22820. My Group Air Check 22820. And with that, we return the frequency back to regular amateur use. This is KC9VKV Clear.